I know that. So, yep. Jax, my friend. Howdy do. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Thursday edition of the Morning Grind. Every Monday through Friday, 8:30. Somebody sits down right here and they're going to somehow talk about one thing, two things that maybe will enhance your life. Say what, Van? Live on the YouTube. We're live everywhere. Look, if you're on here, do me a huge solid. I need your help. Share the stream for me. That's all I'm asking. Would you share your stream, Edward? As always, we begin every single morning grind forcing ourselves, forcing our negativity. We're trying to bury it for just 60 seconds. How can we replace that shitty negative feeling and replace it with something extremely positive? Talking to you, Ed.
Sorry, I'm trying to share it.
I appreciate the share, Ed. I appreciate it. Yeah, Ed, now could you just answer one question? That's all I care about. Just answer one question.
Yes,
what is something you're thankful for?
Oh. I'm just
I don't know how to.
I don't know. I get stumped.
See,
with this.
I know. I think you have a hard time being grateful. Like, yes.
The same response, though. I feel like
Well, give me something better.
I'm thankful for my mother.
Thankful for mommy. Hey, Andre, thank you for getting on here. I hope to see you this morning, Andre. Got some things to discuss with you. Q, what's up, my friend? How are you? You know, I like to bang on Ed. I can't help it. But Ed couldn't think about anything positive. Ed really, he still battles. He has very, very questionable situational awareness because he thinks about him all the time. Do you think about other people or do you just think about you?
I do think about other people, but
well, I do think you're a considerate person. I'm not trying to say you're not, but I do think for some reason you're extremely. Jax, get down. I bet I'm gonna see his big ear. Jax, get down.
how does this benefit me?
How does this benefit myself? Would you please get on like, comment, and share? The hair looks good. So yesterday, Ed comes in. He's not looking very good, were you?
No.
Today you look better. So I make a comment to Ed. Make a comment like, damn, dude, what's up, man? You look like the old Ed. Are you trying to become the new Ed, or are you wanting to go back to the old Ed? Did you share this on your Facebook?
Mm-hmm.
Did you? I don't know if I trust you or not. Good morning, Shannon Wheeler. Thank you for getting on here. So Ed, he's in here and he looks terrible. He's in sweatpants. What kind of shoes do you have on yesterday?
I had on athletic shoes, cloud runners.
Cloud Runners comes in, looks terrible. I'll make a comment. I noticed after lunch, he looked different. He looked better. He went home and he changed. Maybe our influence over here is helping Ed see himself in a better light. So yesterday, my wife is under the gun with a lot of stuff going on right now. We're moving. She's got files. She's learning how to do this job. She is on like a very sensitive stress level. So yesterday, Ed, I was over there. He walks in and looks at her. She's sitting there struggling, gasping to try to figure things out. And what'd you say to her? You didn't mention my shoes. Did you say that?
I don't know.
Did you mention?
That's when she was leaving.
No, she was in her office with the door shut. Which usually, if somebody's in their room, in their office with the door shut, what is that usually an indicator of?
They are usually busy.
Don't bother me. But you walk in and you made it about you. See, I want you. You'll become a lot better salesperson when you can read other people. You've heard me talk about this, haven't you?
Yes.
A lot of salespeople, they can't understand the buyer. They can't understand who they're talking to. And all they can think about is what they want. You were wanting what? Attention! Wanting my compliment, please! Brittany! Look at me! Brittany! I'm thankful, Ed, that this is paying off. I'm thankful that you're listening, because here's what I really want you to do is I really want you to one day say, I don't need your good opinion of me. I don't need that. See, that's a good and a bad thing, because I really don't care how I look. Now, some people are going to say, well, that's not good, but I'm so absent of what you think. I mean, it does not bother me because really, at the end of the day, you don't care about it, and this is everybody. Most people only care about what they look like. Most people only care about themselves. Van, how do we label today's show?
You can never conquer what you won't move toward.
I'll say it louder. You can never conquer anything that you're not willing to move towards. So if you're fat like me, how am I going to overcome this fat problem I've got? I'm going to have to know the treadmill's not going to fix it alone. What's it going to take for me to, Drew said he's dealt with that for 26 years. Come in, Zeke. Come in, little Coach Rankin. That's my dog. Have you ever seen my dog? Say what? You're not interrupting. Come over here and sit down. Bring your notes in here. So you cannot fix, you cannot correct, you can't improve things you're not willing to confront. That's why it's so important to collect data. We've talked about this. It's why it's so important. People talk about key performance indicators or they talk about results. But what if, see, I've collected enough data over the last 2 years. I'm making some changes. Making some changes that I was thinking what I was doing was going to be that thing that was going to push us to the next level. I was betting on, and if you watch that thing, Van and Edward, you're going to see this guy's talking about the very thing. I think a lot of times we become handcuffed to this belief that Zillow, for me, is the answer. And if we sold 30 homes a couple years ago from Zillow, now what if we doubled down and did more Zillow? What I'm finding is Zillow's not the answer. Zillow, I mean, there are some good leads with Zillow, but I've tracked the data and I'm seeing now I need to move into something else. But there's been a part of me, even though it costs a lot of money, I was looking at, this is $20,000 a month. Well, what happens if we don't spend this $20,000 a month? I was stuck. It's becoming clear to me. Did you have a question? You had your hand up. False alarm?
I'm thinking, what was the turning point for you? Because, I mean, it was just as of lately. I mean, the switch happened. What made the switch?
Well, I'm looking at, I know the information, I know the score, I know the financials, and I don't make money off Zillow. I do that to help grow the team. And then 2 people have left, and I'm like, this is good. This is a good thing because now what I can do is I can move into a different direction. I'm going to cut this back. I'm going to cut that Zillow budget from 20 to 12. Think about where we're looking at some of these areas, and it doesn't sound like much when you're looking. And give me an area, give me a zip code in a city we have, Van.
37190.
Give me one that we're giving up.
37090.
What is that? What is that city?
I believe that is probably 11.
There's some other ones though. There's some obscure cities. Now there's some things down there where there's 4 people that live there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like Josh is going all around the southern tip of Middle Tennessee to make $8.
It takes money to control the Pelham, Tennessee real estate market.
It does. I'm sitting here, and what I'm doing is I'm giving people busy work to go down to these little outlying areas where they're probably not going to, if they get referrals, they don't want to go down there. Are we going to continue to market to those people? It's a waste of money.
How about Readable and Rateable?
Readable? I don't know. That's probably 20 minutes away. But Josh was telling me the other day, he's driving an hour. He's driving an hour hoping somebody shows up. Have you ever driven an hour to go? Did they show up? Have you ever driven an hour and they didn't show up? Josh was on the road halfway there the other day, and they're we're gonna, they're so the customers are so casual. Oh man, we're not. You know what, man? I forgot we ain't gonna be able to make it. Can we reschedule? But there's been a part of me not willing to move into another area of business. I've been scared to do that. I've felt handcuffed. I'm dependent upon Zillow. Well, now what this is forcing me to do, it's whenever I was so dependent upon Zillow, it blocked all creative vision. All I could see was this. Well, now we're getting rid of these two guys, and that's a blessing because I don't have to spend. Now I'm like, you know what? I ain't going to spend this money anymore. Now what we're going to do is we're going to keep about $12,000 worth of Zillow, but we're going to do some other things. Instead of paying $383 for a lead, what if we spend $383 and get 20 leads? And Ed Hardy over here works his magic, and you go out there, and of course, they're looking to rent. No, just kidding. But here's what I'm telling you. There's a problem. I knew that Zillow was a problem. I knew that I didn't own a business. Zillow owned me. I knew that, but I was not willing to confront, even though I'm looking at how painful those checks are. Those checks, our losses are really over the last couple of months because of Zillow. Why am I doing this? I'm moving into this. I'm going to solve the problem. It's going to be different. It's going to be better, but it's going to be much more dependent upon little Drew Kilgore over here.
Do you think in the end that you'll end up better, stronger?
Yes, I do.
And more just.
I do because I've been spending $20,000 to get Zillow more known.
What if outsourced your marketing department to them and they took the
yeah?
Of your
Well, I mean, what if we were to, because there's other things I want to do. What if I was spending $5,000 on stuff and, Hayden had a flip going? Hey, that we're going to split, of course. But what if there was ways, what if there was more ways, like I'm looking at this like it's a roadblock, but maybe it's just unlocking me to a better opportunity.
Well, I think the other thing, too, that you're starting to figure out is that you can solve problems with your knowledge. Zillow isn't just going to ride the market one way or another, but they're not really solving problems. But you and the people here in this, Hayden can look somebody in the eye, figure out how to solve a problem, and that's something that Zillow can't do for you. You're going to learn how.
Zillow just gives us a person that might want to go buy, and here's what it does: it cripples us. It's kind of like putting you on government assistance. That's what Zillow's done, and what it's done is kind of throttled us. Now it's time to create a new and improved marketing department. But something had to happen for me to move into this. And so here's what I want you to understand. Remember that time you missed that field goal? Mm-hmm. Then you came back and hit the game winner? Mm-hmm. Most of the time, your problems are your setback. It's just a time. It's an indicator to correct. Time to course correct. Find a new way. It's not the end. It's not failure. It's probably the signal. It's time, buddy. It's time to move into a different direction. Shut us down, Vingreftine.